Hi guys, I really hope there are some comedy series fans here. So those of you who have watched Modern Family know exactly how competitive Claire Dunphy can get. And recently I was watching this episode where she was meeting up with a former colleague, Valerie, whom they were working together as entry-level employees in a huge accounting firm before she quit her career to focus on becoming a full-time mom. So they meet up for lunch for the first time in about 15 years. And just when the lunch was beginning, Claire thought that Valerie envied her life because she had a home, a house, a family, and all this happily ever after kind of stuff. Only for her to find out that Valerie had actually 3 different boyfriends in 3 different states, and a 4th one in Paris. Literally the definition of having hoes in different area codes. In addition, Valerie had just been confirmed for the most coveted job in that firm. This was a position where even Claire knew that everyone in the firm worked towards it and totally desired it, and now Valerie had it. And the worst realization for Claire was that Valerie did not actually envy her, but she pitied her for her decisions. And for a moment, Claire started second-guessing her decision to quit her career to focus on becoming a full-time mother. But being the Claire Dunphy that all Modern Family fans have come to know and love over the years, she tried to pull this Hail Mary attempt to try and still come out on top of this situation. And what does she do? She invites Valerie to come to her home so that she can see her family and hopefully notice what she has been missing. And things going to have turned out any worse. They get to her home and they find her clown of a husband, Phil, had locked himself in a toilet and couldn't get out. Their firstborn child, Haley, was having a dispute with the boyfriend, so that was messy. And their last 2 kids, Luke and Alex, they were trying to kill a rat which they had brought into the house themselves while collecting bottles for charity. And Valerie sees all this and she just gives Claire her space to deal with her family. And immediately Valerie leaves. We see Claire when they have assembled the whole family together. Claire just goes off on them, gives them an earful, and comes out guns blazing towards them. Like, this is literally the one time I actually needed you guys to impress someone on my behalf, and you couldn't have embarrassed me more. And with that, she just leaves the house. You see, Claire's life was okay until when she was exposed to what she thought it could have been. So what she was really dealing with is FOMO, the fear of missing out. Let me put this clear. Like, Claire loved her life. Her life was perfect before her eyes until when she was exposed to what she thought was better, and it triggered something in her. So she went all out trying to prove to Valerie that her life was actually better, while in real sense she was trying to convince herself that she hadn't missed out on anything. You see, FOMO is the belief that anything other than God and His purpose and His will and vision of our lives can truly satisfy us, that it can give us happiness. And this just took me back to the story of Eve eating the forbidden fruit. And I got 2 things from this story. The first thing I got is FOMO tries to diminish or reduce in value or worth the things that we have so that we can focus on the things we don't. Let me say that again. FOMO tries to diminish or reduce the value or the worth of the things that we have so that we can focus on the things that we don't. You see, the devil came unto Eve, knowing fully well that Adam and Eve had been allowed to eat from all the trees in the garden, except one. But he still approached Eve like, did God really tell you not to eat from any fruit of any tree in the garden? What God had ordained as all but one, the devil tried to misrepresent as none. So he was trying to change Eve's perspective from all the things that she had access to, all the fruits that she could eat, to the one fruit that she couldn't. The second thing I learned that FOMO does is FOMO makes you desire the things you think you want, but you really don't. Yes, it makes you desire the things you think you want, but you really don't. Because the devil convinced Eve that if she ate the forbidden fruit, her eyes would be opened. And on that, he didn't lie. So yes, Eve ate the forbidden fruit, and yes, her eyes were opened, but at what cost? Yes, her eyes were opened, but to the shame of her nakedness. And they were punished together with Adam for their breach, and they suffered the consequences of this breach. Do you really think Eve wanted all these consequences? Not really. All she wanted was her eyes to be opened to the wisdom that she desired. But at what cost did this wisdom come? It came at a cost that they were neither willing nor ready to pay for. And you see, FOMO is all about focus. Since it makes us focus on the wrong things, it can only be dealt with by us focusing on the right things. And what are the right things? Focus on yourself and on God. Simple as that. We always see these tweets, focus on yourself, kings, focus on yourself, queens. And that's just it. Tend to your own garden. Keep on improving yourself. Someone said, be so busy with your own lawn that you don't get to notice that it's greener on the other side. And the second and the most important thing you need to focus on is God and his promises for your life, his purpose over your life. The Bible says that he can be trusted to keep his promise. And the Bible also says that what God has for us is greater than anything that you can ever have for ourselves. And this is reinforced by the fact that when Claire finally calmed down and went back to her family, they reminded her exactly why she chose them over her career and why she should have made that decision over and over again. You see, she gave them an earful. She made them feel bad for their dysfunction at that moment. But when she came back, they didn't even make her feel bad for what she had done. They could have totally made her pay, but they chose not to, because that's what family is. And at that moment, she realized exactly what she wanted and exactly why her choice was the right choice. So yes, God may not give you what you think you want, but he'll give you exactly what you want. And even more importantly, he'll give you exactly what you need.